Hello and welcome to Odyssey Motorsport TV's coverage of the Tuesday night main event for the Kansas City Racing League Season 9, Round 6, presented by DLB Precision. I'm TG Yankee, and with me in the broadcast booth, as always, is Lesean Young-Dilworth. How are we doing tonight, Els?
I'm doing great, TJ. It's a nice warm day on iRacing at Watkins Glen. We're going to have a great race. These GTEs are looking beautiful, and they are going to be up and down this course, running it up. We are going to see something good today, TJ.
Absolutely, yeah. As Els said, tonight's race is round 6 of season 9 of the Kansas City Racing League's Tuesday night main event in the GTE car. Tonight we are back in North America at Watkins Glen after being over in Europe for the boot configuration of the Watkins Glen circuit. It's a 3.4 mile circuit, which is different from the 2.4 mile NASCAR layout. 11 turns with multiple elevation changes and the dreaded bus stop chicane after the long run from turn 1 through the S's is going to be interesting to see in these GTE cars. Do we think it will be another Drake and Andrew show up front this week, Els?
Well, I'm hoping to see some battling like we saw last week. I mean, it was on the last corner of the last lap. It was crazy work, and I'm actually hoping to see some of my teammates, my drivetrainer motorsport teammates, up in the front. But definitely would like to see another battle from Drake and Andrew tonight, TJ.
Yeah, absolutely. That was such a wild finish from last week's race at the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. As you said, Drake taking the lead on the last lap of the last corner and taking the win from Andrew, who led the whole race. Absolutely super exciting stuff. Incredible move, clean racing from both of them. Yep, I hope we got a couple DTM drivers in the session tonight. I hope they are able to do well. But yeah, I think Drake and Andrew, this track, it's relatively similar to the Nürburgring, very tight, very technical, high downforce, high tire deg. We might see them kind of do the same thing they did last week. But either way, just a reminder that for this session, there is a safety car deployment for this league. There's no safety car in the first and last 10 minutes, and 2 cars have to be involved in the same incident, and both have to tow for one to be deployed. So the last 2 races, we have not had any safety cars deployed, as there's not been any incidents requiring one to be triggered. So these KCRL drivers are all well above average as far as clean racing standards. So I think we will see a safety car free session once again, but if there is one, I'm going to bet that we're going to see contact in that bus stop chicane, as it's after high speed section with heavy braking leading into it, and the curbing there can upset the cars quite a bit. So if we do see contact there, it'll probably involve the wall and the tow. But any experience around the boot configuration at Watkins Glen for you, Els?
Oh man, Watkins Glen, I said it earlier, man, it's going to be a warm day, and this boot configuration is a lot of high speed left and rights, and the front left is where it's going to get the most damage. It's going to get destroyed, and these guys cannot change their tires not once throughout the entire session. And also the bus stop chicane is going to be a good spot for some overtaking. We're going to be seeing maybe 2 wide in there once they start getting to trust each other, and they can look over and say, hey man, we're going to do something crazy. And the last corner was actually my biggest downfall whenever I get on this track. I mean, for whatever reason, getting close to that wall just gets into my head. So definitely going to see some good racing tonight, TJ.
Yeah, I have trouble with the heel and the toe of the boot. For whatever reason, I really struggle with those 2 corners. They're just really tough for me. I don't know why, but yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of passing opportunities going into that bus stop chicane. Obviously, to take the quickest line through that chicane, you're hitting both apexes, so someone's going to get squeezed at some point. So hopefully we see the great racing that we've come to expect for the Kansas City Racing League between these drivers. Just a reminder that our awesome race control is headed by Dakota Knapp, Brad Jorgensen, Linda Barkley, and Brett Marshall. Thanks for making this a really unique league experience, and we appreciate all that you do. So let's jump. Applause. Golf clap, please. Kansas City Race League's Tuesday night main event is brought to you by DLB Precision. Everyone knows that your sim racing rig is never really complete. New wheelbase, better pedals, a new set of monitors with a high refresh rate, and none of it will matter if you don't have a PC that can run the hardware to its full potential. Head on over to dlbprecision.com. Every PC is handpicked and assembled to the highest standard. They are started up, tuned, and stress tested before being delivered. The people over at DLB Precision are sim racers themselves, so this is not a PC built by a normal gaming company or a marketing firm. They run what they build, and they know the ways to tune your PC to run your sim title of choice with no stutters, no crashes, and bespoke to your needs. So if you're in the market for a sim PC or an update to your current PC, check out dlbprecision.com. A link will be in the video description below. And just a reminder that there are plenty of other sponsorship opportunities available on the broadcast. If you have a business, a social media tag, your team, your league, or just want to shout out your favorite driver, contact us at odyssey.motorsport@gmail.com. We can work with you on graphics and full ad pitches to promote your business or your social media or on our broadcast. So thank you, DLB Precision, for being a part of this league and helping support this league be able to come on here. So let's go ahead and talk about our point standings. So with this being the 6th round of the championship, here are the pro standings so far. So first place, Drake Smith. Second place, Blaze Scheid. Third place, Andrew Lanning. Fourth place, Kyle Shook. Fifth, Mark Blizzard. Sixth, Matt Stallcup. 7th, Michael Rhodes. 8th, Neil Salata. 9th, Janie Hempy. 10th, David Woods. 11th, Zachary Lewis. 12th, David Listow. 13th, Jake Van Hees, who just got promoted up from last week from the AM class. And 14th, Caden Parks Miller. Els, why don't you go ahead and read our AM points?
And in the GTE AM, we have Jacob Winslow taking first place at the moment. Second place, we have Nate Halasek. Third place, Xavier Page. Fourth place, Ash Harper. Fifth place, Brian Fro. Sixth place, Glenn Pino. Seventh place, Lance Shellhorn. Eighth place, Jeremiah Sawden. Ninth place, Daniel Nicholson. 10th place, Emil Toe. 11th place, Franklin Edwards. 12th place, Shelby Combs. 13th place, Brian Benjamin. 14th place, Matt Johnson. 15th place, Zach Williams. And 16th place, we have Justin Willard Road. Excuse me.
All right. Yeah. Got quite a field here with the pro and am classes. Just real quick, we're going to look at the schedule real quick. This is obviously round 6 at Watkins Glen, the boot configuration. Next week is going to be at Sebring International Raceway, and the final round will be at Donington Park the following week. With that all being squared away, we're going to go ahead and go with our onboard and give you a guided lap around Watkins Glen boot configuration. So we're going to go ahead and start off on the start finish straight. I am in the Corvette C8R GTE, heading into turn 1, down onto the brakes. I drop down into the third gear. Got to be careful for the off tracks here if you go too far on the inside or too wide. On the left there, you can get it off track. You're going to be full throttle through these S's. Ton of downforce on this car. So you should be able to just absolutely blaze through here. So Els, why don't you go ahead and take us into the bus stop chicane, which is coming up.
And into the bus stop chicane, we got a nice little straight here. This is where we're going to see a lot of opportunities to pass here. We're going to brake at the 300, I believe it is. And we're going to take the bus stop chicane as well as we can through here, going for a late apex here. This high-speed corner is going to eat up the front left tires. That's what I was speaking about earlier. And into, I believe it's the turn 9, which they call the chute. And we're going to go all the way out, straight out to the toe, which is one of the hardest corners on the track. And TJ, why don't you take it back over?
Yep, so now we're going down the bottom part of the foot. If you're looking at that right side of the track, of the boot section here, we're heading up to the heel down to, I go down in second gear here. This corner is very difficult to keep the car steady. Now you're going to be up into third, back on the brakes really quick. Another corner that is easy to lose the rear end on. Hard on the throttle as you head towards turn 10. This one I lifted ever so slightly, but I have a feeling that these drivers are going to be flat through this corner. And now this is that final corner that Els talked about. I drop down into third, and watch out, the wall comes real quick. On the left side there, as we're back on the start finish straight, I was able to put in a 141.89. Right now I'm seeing Drake Smith with a 139.840. That's the top of the pro class. So we are looking at mid to upper mid pack, 141.9 right now. Casper Kaluden is leading the AM class with a 141.86. Just want to do one more thing before we get ready to read off our results. We have some news as an event reminder for upcoming Odyssey Motorsport TV Wounded Warrior charity race. March 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be hosting a charity race in the GRD6s around Virginia International Raceways. Prizes for podium finishers, a livery contest, and of course be broadcasted by us at Odyssey Motorsports TV. You can join our Discord or look at the link below to register for that race. Great cause. It's going to be a ton of fun. No damage. Fixed setup. Half-hour sprint race. It's going to be a ton of fun coming on March 14th, so keep an eye out for that. All right, so we are done with qualifying. We're about a minute past the cutoff, but everyone that is on track is going to be able to finish. It looks like Nate Hallistick is the last one on the track right now. We'll jump to see what he is up to. He was... Oh, and he just stopped. So in a moment here, we will see our grid. Once that ticks over. Els, I think, you think there's going to be any lockups here? We didn't see all that many lockups until the later portion of the session last race as those tires started to go on these cars. Do you think we're going to see lockups early, or will it be similar to last week where we see the lockups towards the end of the session?
I believe it's going to be towards the end of the session. These guys are really good at managing the first portion of the race, and I believe that they're just gonna hold it easy because they know they can't change tires, so they want to not eat it up in the beginning and then have to deal with it in the end. So I imagine we're going to see some smart driving from all the drivers here, hopefully, because TJ, this is iRacing, and you know how iRacing goes.
Yeah, I do know how iRacing goes, but the good news is that the guys here in Kansas City Racing League, especially those top guys, they know how to race side by side, to leave the space, also make clean moves for passes. So I think we're going to see, as you said, relatively clean in the beginning. We might see the gloves come off towards the end as those tires start to go, and the kind of rush to get that position for points is going to start to become more and more drastic. So let's go ahead and pull up our grid. So tonight's round 6 at the Watkins Glen Boot Circuit. Your pole sitter, once again, Drake Smith in the Heartland Autosport BMW, a 139.840. He's going to start from pole. Neil Salata, second place. Beside him, third place, Zachary Lewis, and fourth place, Andrew Lanning.
And in fifth place, we have Matt Stalcott in the RBS Racing, I think BMW, right? Sixth place, we have Jake Venice, Seventh place, we have Kyle Shook from the Driver Trainer Motorsports crew, both of them. Blaze Sheed and is it Scheid?
Scheid.
And please, Scheid,
Yeah, no
I'll be
problem.
having trouble with these names.
No problem at all. Starting our AM class, Casper Kaluden in pole position for the AM class of 141.860. Brian Froh is next to him in second place. And then moving on down, Nate Hallistick in third, Ash Harper in fourth. I'm just going to go ahead and finish it out real quick. Glenn Pino, fifth place. Emil Toe in sixth place. Shelby Combs in seventh place. Lance Shellhorn in eighth. Brian T. Benjamin in ninth. And Matt Johnson is going to round out your top, your 10th place position in the AM class.
I'll tell you what, TJ, you definitely have the voice for this, man. I got to give it to you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a ton of fun. I really enjoy it. I've heard that I got the voice for it. As we see our gentlemen on the start finish straight, it looks like they're going to be doing an entire parade lap. No short parade lap for tonight. It'll be an entire parade lap. But yeah, going back to that, Els, I mean, I've been looking at the liveries you've been making, man. They are the new hotness, let me tell you, man. They look absolutely fantastic. Keep at it. It is great.
Thank you so much, man. But we're about to get into the green here. Oh, it's actually the pace lap. We got a full lap, you said,
Yep.
Actually. That's my mistake. So we're going to see these guys out here in their liveries. Well, we got a black and white gradient. on the Porsche there, and we're looking at, I think it's Drake Smith right now. He's in the BMW with the blue and red. Just the classic look on that car right there. Very good looking stuff in the front here.
Yep, Zach Lewis got the Husqvarna Corvette going on there. So if you're a fan of those garden tools and lawnmowers, he's representing the Husqvarna brand. Neil Salata's got that black to gray variant that you were talking about. In the Porsche, Matt Stallcup is in his signature pink Porsche. Andrew Lanning had changed last round. He was in his first race in the BMW. He was in the Ford GT before that. And you got two Drivetrainer Motorsports cars, Jake Van Hees and Kyle Shook.
In the signature green and black, and I think these were actually made by Kyle Shook. And right. He's out here making liveries too, so give him a holler too.
Yeah, absolutely. A good looking car out there. Brian Froh and his signature yellow and black BMW, we've come to know. Nate Hallistick in that Savage Sim Racing Porsche.
Yes, the purple and black one. I remember that car.
Yep.
Very nice looking car too.
See Ash Harper in a Porsche. You got Emil Toe right behind him in the Drivetrainer Motorsports Ivory colors.
Showing out today.
Lance Shellhorn in that anime-inspired BMW. And then Matt Johnson in the Porsche with the black with the highlighted accents there. All good-looking cars on the grid tonight.
It just makes the field look just so just fulfilling. It pops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It pops. Good-looking cars all around. So those of you that made your own liveries, way to go. It looks awesome on the screen, looks awesome on the broadcast. Those of you that had people do liveries for you, keep going to those people because they look great.
The field looking very mean, very ready. Pace car and 911 also looking very stiff.
Do you notice that the pace car driver has earmuffs on inside the car?
Oh, I did not notice that.
And he's wearing a hat too. He doesn't have crash helmet for whatever reason. Maybe the iRacing OSHA standards might be a little bit lower than they are in real life. Usually they have that open face helmet. All right, we are heading through the second to last corner. As the field comes around, should be green flag racing after this turn here. We'll see the pace car dive in to the pits. Drake Smith backing everyone up as we are almost ready to go. There he is. He's off. Green flag racing. Gets a great start. Neil Salata, slips in behind him. He's going to defend from the attackers behind. Going into turn one, side by side. Andrew Lanning in third. He took a look on the outside of Neil in that first corner, but kept it, was not able to take the position. These three for second, third, and fourth, nose to tail. Zach Lewis, Andrew Lanning, Neil Salata, all on top of each other. What's going to happen the first time through the bus stop? Ooh. As we see the cars jiggle back and forth, a couple people cutting the corner. Matt Stallcup went wide. Blaze Scheid went wide as well. Both of them getting corner cuts that they're going to have to serve before they have that flag cleared. Neil Salata going a little bit wide there. And now he's got Jake Van Hees hot on his tail as Zachary Lewis takes third place from Neil Salata. Pretty wild opening first half of the lap. Looks like Drake Smith is doing Drake Smith things out there. He is already a second and a half ahead of the rest of the crew here.
And like I said, TJ, these guys are putting on a show and they came to perform. These guys have not made an instrument that we have caught so far. And it's looking tidy, looking good at the front of the grid here.
Absolutely. After your first lap, the shuffle in the order: Drake Smith, Andrew Lanning, Zachary Lewis, your top 3 in the Pro class; Casper Kaluta, Brian Froh, and Glenn Pino, your top 3 in the AM class. As we see Jake Van Hees go a little wide there in turn 1.
Now, there will be a lot of drafting as well on these S's up into the bus stop, so we might see them close up into the braking zone here, but it will be a little bit later into the race, not at this moment. As they're jumping, oh, somebody went off in the back. Looked like a Porsche.
Neil. Yep, that was Neil. Neil Salata went off in the back. Let's jump to that replay real quick. See what happens with him. I don't know if he locks up or if he just took too much curb going into the bus stop, and don't know why he stopped and towed back to the pit, but he did.
Unfortunate to see.
We're going to jump to Glenn Pino, who is hot on Nate Hollistick's tail here. He's got one of the closest gaps in the field so far, or right now, I should say. Holding 4th place, trying to get up into the podium ahead of Nate Hollistick. Now riding on board with him. You can see, you can hear the letting off there. So I told you that second to last corner I let off in it. Didn't know if these guys were or not. At least Nate does, or sorry, Glenn does. Excuse me. Heading into turn 1. You got to be late on the throttle there. If you get on too early, you will go wide. You get an off track. It is unfortunate. And then it is foot to the floor all the way through these S's, all the way to the bus stop. He's keeping within touch and distance of Nate Hollistick.
It's that drive, TJ. They're going to be getting that drive.
Everyone seems to be spread out very nicely. It looks like Zachary Lewis is just within a second of Andrew Lanning up front. Otherwise, you got Glenn Pino and now Emil Too, who's at the back in that white and green Porsche, the Drivetrainer Motorsports Ivory Porsche. They're the only ones within a second of the people around them right now. So everyone kind of settling in for this 45-minute session. We're only 5 minutes in.
Yeah, I was going to say everybody's spread out very nice and evenly. They're getting real close to the wall.
Real close to the wall, and a huge change. So I don't know if Andrew Lanning had a bad turn or something. It was almost a full second to Zachary Lewis, and it is less than a half second now. So something happened there. Either Zach got an amazing exit, or Andrew had a bad corner.
I'm wondering if Zachary Lewis is just getting in his head. I saw lights flashing. I don't know.
All right, here we go. He is right on his tails. They go into the bus stop. I think he's just going to wait to play another day. They are taking so much of that first entry curbing into the bus stop. These cars are jumping over it. Oh.
It's going on the inside now.
Yeah, he's taking a look on the inside, filling up Andrew Lanning's mirrors. I don't know if Andrew maybe locked up or something. He heated his tires and he's just doesn't have the grip for a couple corners or something, but he looked like he was struggling coming out of turn 4. Just see on the race log, Matt Johnson in the pit with a meatball. It does say he crashed, but I want to stay with these guys real quick. Oh, goodness. Off the wall. Zachary Lewis is going to take second place.
Oh, that might be a meatball, too.
Well, he drops out to the pits. He takes a tow. Jake Van Hees is going to jump into third place after that happens. Zachary Lewis into second. Let's see what happened with, obviously we were on board with that Andrew Lanning wall contact, but let's see what happened with Matt Johnson real quick.
Oh.
I think once again, just taking too much curbing upset the car.
Yeah, looks like he messed up the engine.
Yep, that is unfortunate for him. Right now, we're going to jump to Kyle Shook, who is right on the back of Matt Stallcup here. It's Casper Kaluta in that purple Porsche, purple and multicolored Porsche. He is your leader of the AM class. So, 2 different races happening at the same time. That's what the multi-class is all about. So right now you got Matt Stallcup and Kyle Shook are in the pro class. They're towards the tail end of the pro class field. Casper Kaluta up in, or down in the AM class, putting on, showing that he's got the pace to fight up here with him. But Brian Froh is right behind them in that black and yellow BMW.
So it's a staggered race.
Yep, right now it is. It's Brian Froh in second place in the AM class with Nate Hellstick right behind him. Matt Johnson was able to just now leave the pits from that incident that we watched going through the bus stop. So he got his tow, he got his fast repair. 1 fast repair for these cars. So if you do have a bad time, you can run to the pit real quick and get that instantaneously repaired. Unfortunately, it's too early. Man, there's a lot of cars going on right here. Unfortunately, it's too early in the session to utilize an early pit stop to get your fuel as well as a fast repair. So, Kyle Shook takes an interesting line through the bus stop there. Took a little bit too much curb. He's going to get a couple off tracks there. Or actually just one. He does have a yellow flag that he has to slow down. That is a 1 second slowdown for course cutting that is implemented by iRacing. And he has served that. Interestingly enough, if you see on the right side of the scoring tower, you will see the 1X. Those are the incident points. So in this league, at 11 incidents, so 11X, the drivers will get a drive-through penalty. And then at 16X, which is 5 incidents more, they'll get another one, and it'll be every 5 more, they'll have another one. So we'll keep an eye on that. For the most part, you see many blanks and only 1X's so far, so everyone driving relatively clean. We'll see what happens as these guys try to take more and more curbing into that bus stop. As you can see, it upsets all of these cars so much. Is that Brian Froh going wide there? No, that was not Glenn Pino. I think that wasn't Nate either. Right now, Nate is the only car. Between Nate and Brian are the only cars that are within a second of each other. Everyone is spread out nicely, but with any sort of incident like we saw with Andrew Lanning, he can overcook it and touch the wall. The wall's relatively close here on this circuit. Ellis, that was something that I always had a problem with on that final corner. Once I finally figured it out, is I always got on the throttle too soon and would destroy that left front in the wall. I know you were saying that you were having a hard time with that last corner.
Oh yeah, TJ, that last corner is a treacherous one. You will be in the wall if you're not careful, and if you're on the throttle just a little bit too early, you're gonna at least scrape it and lose time down the front straight. So yeah, these guys here are just nursing the tires around at this point. And I imagine that they're just saving toward the end here.
So we say Glenn Pino going by a back marker. He was flashing his lights at him earlier. Sure if that's Matt Johnson. Yep, that's Matt Johnson, who had that incident at the bus stop. He is in the front of the AM class right now, even though he is a lap down due to that incident. So these AM drivers that are fighting for position right now, they're going to have to navigate their way around him. And jump back up to Nate. So he is within a quarter second, just under a half second, to Brian Froh. This is second and third in the AM class.
Still only saying 1X is on the board. It's completely clean. This is a good race. And they're getting on the inside.
Nate looking on the inside, going in the bus stop. Brian's just going to let him go. Ooh. I think he just had too much of a run with that draft. I don't think there was much that Brian would have been able to do to stop that without being... Or something's going on with Brian. He has dropped back a lot.
Maybe he's trying to save fuel. Maybe he's trying to save some tires. I couldn't understand why he would just let him pass like that.
Yeah, I mean, that is another thing. I haven't done the fuel calculations, so maybe these guys are looking at fuel calculators, and they're seeing the cars only get 50% of the fuel, so they do have to stop for fuel, but with 50% fuel capacity, this track, they might see that, oh, they're going to have to do 2 stops or just barely do 2 stops, so if they do some fuel saving early, they'll be able to just do 1 stop, which would be a huge benefit to them.
And I'd like to add to that, sitting in the draft is probably the smartest thing to do.
That's true.
As opposed to being in front, taking in all the air and all the drag, pushing the car down, and also your fuel economy or efficiency.
Yep, Blaze Scheid able to get by the backmarker Matt Johnson. Emil Toe also was able to do that in the second half of that last lap. So now we got multiple gaps, well over a second, pretty much across the board here.
Lights flashing.
It's Blaze going by Kyle Schuck. Oh, I just saw Kyle Schuck jump back. Yeah, Blaze going by Emil. It's again Blaze in the pro class, Emil in the AM class, so 2 different races going on. Ash Harper, 6. And we got a meatball from Kyle. See, Kyle Schuck crashed. See it twice, so let's jump to that real quick. See what happened here. This is Kyle Schuck. Once again, the bus stop claims its next victim, and it is Kyle Schuck. Oh, unfortunately got into the wall.
Unfortunate stuff there. That entry point is very crucial to get the entire thing right.
I was really surprised. I mean, I only did 3 laps for that onboard guided lap that we did, but I was extra cautious. That entry curbing, that right-hander into the bus stop, it's just so tall and violent on the car. I was extra cautious with it. These guys are taking quite a bit of that, and we've already seen multiple people get caught out by it. Unfortunate for Kyle Schuck. I was going to say a little fun fact about Ash Harper here as he comes up on Matt Johnson. Apparently he really wanted to be a rally driver when he was younger, and I guess he still does. But iRacing's the next best thing for now, as he's going to go by Matt Johnson heading up to the bus stop. Clean pass. Glenn Pino is now caught up to Brian Froh. If you remember, Nate Hallistick had passed Froh for second place. Now Glenn is caught back up to him, so this would be for third place in the AM class. Once again, if Brian, either he's locked up a couple times and he's trying to save his tires, or if he's doing fuel savings, that might pay out for him in the end of the race. Els, I've never seen the benefits of fuel saving. I've tried so hard whenever I race. Have you ever successfully fuel saved? I just seem to have the hardest time with it.
I tell you what, TJ, and I love to tell you what, TJ. I've seen it in the Daytona 24 this last go around.
Mm-hmm.
That if you coast and left into the braking zones, you can save enough fuel that you can almost gain back like 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Just that would be in an endurance race, but in a shorter race like this, with shorter capacity of fuel, it's a different kind of game, because it's really like, how much fuel saving can you get in 20 minutes?
Absolutely.
As opposed to an entire stint in an endurance race. You understand?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I remember, so 2 seasons ago in Kansas City Race League, we were doing the GT3s, if you remember, and a couple of the guys were able to fuel save, as we see Brian Froh taking a look on Nate Hallistick, whatever. Maybe he heard us. Maybe he's got the stream on in the background or something. But, oh, man, he has picked up his pace, and he is right on the back of Nate Hallistick. If you remember in that GT3 season that we had 2 seasons ago in Kansas City Race League, a couple different drivers were able to fuel save their way to a single stop, as they, I believe, it was only like 40% fuel. It was much less fuel in the GT3 car. So sometimes you had to do 2 stops, and some of the drivers are able to fuel save that. I couldn't seem to do it. So, props to those that can. I know Daytona is a little bit special as well. You got a lot of long, high-speed portions, so you can utilize that coast and lift. I don't think you're going to be able to do that much here, except into the bus stop, or maybe turn 1. There's just so many corners at this circuit.
Well, TJ, if you got someone in front of you with a drop and you're braking maybe 50 meters, or you're letting off maybe 50 meters to 100 meters beforehand, before you're braking, you're gonna eventually get those gains. But like I said, in these shorter format races,
oh goodness, Brian Froh is gonna get spun by Glenn Pino going through the S's. Sorry for the interruption, Els.
No, that's interrupt worthy. Wow.
Oh, Glenn's got some serious damage on the front end of that car. We are just under 20 minutes into this session. I don't know if he can limp it around for a little while to make it to that halfway point to get fuel as well. That front bumper barely hanging on. And, whoa, that was iffy. He is definitely going slow, as Emil Toe is going to jump into 3rd place once he gets by Glenn here. He definitely had a better exit out of turn 1. I was watching as you were explaining that fuel savings. Brian Froh also struggling. Emil might jump into 2nd if he's able to get in front of both of them here. There goes Emil, goes through. Damage to the rear end of Brian Froh's BMW.
And TJ, I'm getting comms from the drivers here. They're saying that it was a netcode issue, according to the drivers, but that could be anything to be discussed. Race control is looking over the incident,
all right,
to see if it's going to be a black flag, which was just now given to Glenn Pino.
Yep, I see it there. Unfortunate for Brian Froh. We were in front of the cars. The camera was in front. So I was not able to see how the contact was as far as the netcode goes. But I do know that he was filling up his rear view mirror. And going through that high-speed section, they just absolutely collided and took it out. Nate Hallistick up into 1st place. Kasper Kaluden in 2nd. He was in the lead, but he had a slowdown that he had to serve, so Nate Hallistick was able to pounce on that. just going to go ahead and show that pass real quick. So that's Nate taking the lead in the AM class from Casper, going into the bus stop chicane. I mean, generally speaking, you look at the incidents on the side of that scoring tower, they are either empty or they're very low. So these drivers keeping it relatively tidy overall. We've only seen a couple of, self-imposed incidents at the bus stop. We saw that one with Glenn and is that Brian Froh and Glenn Pino. So that's been pretty much it. Everyone else has been keeping it pretty clean.
I agree, TJ. These guys have been keeping it clean in the first half, and we're going to be looking at the second half here shortly, and we're going to see if these tire degradation starts to give out on these guys. As I heard somebody spin, I thought.
Oh, yes, that looks like... Is that Emil? Nope, that's not Emil. Was that Jake?
No, I believe that was Kyle Shook.
Yep, that was Kyle Shook who had that incident earlier in the bus stop. We'll jump to that really fast. And did it claim him again? Yep, same exact thing. Neil Drives in the chat saying every car can jump it, but the Porsche, it's just undrivable. And I mean, the evidence is pretty clear. We've seen multiple Porsches have a hard time with that entry curb into the bus stop. As Kyle Shook gets back underway, was able to stay out of the wall that time.
It's interesting to see in this simulation iRacing that the cars just have, advantages and disadvantages depending on the track. I remember the Porsches would be superior on some of the other tracks, but this track, with this bus stop chicane, it's just not it. Not it.
Yeah, interestingly enough, at Daytona, the Le Mans or bus stop chicane at Daytona, the Porsches were able to take that curbing with little to no problem over and over a 24-hour period. Here, not the case for whatever reason. Very interesting. As we see Jake Vanny's in the BMW take that curbing just fine.
Just fine. It just goes to show the detail put into the simulation, and that's why these drivers just put their all into driving, because it's really a simulation. It's not anything to be small talking about.
So I just want to mention Emil Toe in the drivetrainer Ivory car. He did go into the pit. I don't know if he did an early fuel stop. He was in fourth, hunting down Ash Harper in the AM class. He is now, well behind now because he stopped in the pits, but early pit stop from Emil Toe. So we'll see if that, if he did the math right on that, he's able to make it to the end of the race session, as we're 25 and a half minutes in. So just a bit over halfway into this race session. So we see Casper on the tail of Nate Hallistick. This is the battle for first in class for the AM class. I mean, Ash Harper right there in your shot as well, right behind Casper. So relatively close for these AM drivers in the top three. Oh, no, as soon as I say that, Ash did go. Yeah, Ash went into the pit lane, so we no longer see him in the shot. So we have entered the pit window. Blaze Scheid in the pro class jumping into the pit as well. Lance Shellhorn into the pit. So we are in the pit window for fuel for this race. So we'll see if all that drafting, as you had mentioned, if you are able to stay behind a car going through the S's up to the bus stop, you get a little bit of fuel savings and you're able to keep in that draft. Casper and Nate, I mean, they are just the two purple cars, two purple Porsches here, purple people eater Porsches, sticking to each other like glue. We'll have to take a look as they go through the bus stop next time to see if they are much more conservative, as Casper takes a look up the inside, but tucks back behind Nate.
Thinking better of it.
Yeah, going through the heel of the boot. Now they're up towards, I guess we would say, where the Achilles would be. Heading into turn 10 here. Looks like Casper backed off just a little bit, flashing the light at Nate as Nate went a little wide there. Oh, yep, they're both pitting. So they decided to go a little later. Jake Van Hees also in. Zachary Lewis in front of him. He's taking off right now from the pit. Ooh, almost went over the line there. I don't see a flag, so I think he's going to be okay, but that was close. You can't cross that yellow line. You got to make it all the way past that solid yellow line before you can cross over that when exiting the pit. So don't see any flag there. I think he's okay. Looking at Drake Smith, 19 seconds to Matt Stallcup, with Andrew hitting the wall that we were on. We were watching as that happened. Andrew out of the race, and Drake is just kind of walking away.
Yeah, he's got the fastest lap, and he's way far ahead, about 20 seconds now. He's just gonna take a drive into the pits now and just get a fuel set and just take it home. At least that's what it's looking like.
Just looking at Drake Smith real quick. Yeah, I think we mentioned this on another broadcast. He has sat in a real-life GTE Corvette, interestingly enough. Not in the Corvette here, but Zach Lewis is. He's in third place in the Pro class, as Matt Stallcup also in the pit lane. Let's see. He's coming around that last corner here. Let's see where they're at. That looks like Matt Stallcup is going. So he enters the front straight. There's Matt Stallcup there, so Zach Lewis going to take second place. And within 4 seconds of Drake Smith. So after all the pit stops are done and dusted, 4 seconds to Drake Smith. So it wasn't the 19 seconds that we saw. We're going to jump back to our AM leaders really quick. Casper and Nate both pitting at the same time, and the gap is pretty much the same as it was before too. Just under 15 minutes left in this 45-minute session. I think we're going to start seeing the left front tire degradation start to affect some of these drivers, as no tire changes in this racing series. Those who took care of their tires, they are going to be able to stretch their legs. Those who didn't, they're going to be handling a twitchy car, as Nate's going to defend a little bit going into the bus stop. But Casper is just tucking behind once again, just hanging on to that draft.
Excuse me, TJ.
Yes, sir.
What is your go-to when it comes to saving tires?
I mean, I guess it would be an attempt to ease back on how hard I get back on the throttle. Definitely not my strong suit. I've actually gotten a ton better at managing tires with the help of some of the guys over at Drive Trainer Motorsports. They really helped me undo that. Actually, God, it's been over a year now, but back when this racing league was RFR, we did a GT4 and I was in the McLaren, and I would just destroy the tires. No tire changes during that season as well. One of the times, I think it was at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, the left front went all the way down to 0% and actually blew out before the end of the race. So not my strongest suit. I've definitely gotten better, just based on my turn-ins and my throttle application, but I don't really have a secret. I can't tell you. What about you?
I'll tell you what, TJ, and I love to tell you what, TJ. I'm actually pretty decent at saving tires. I don't even know why. I think it's because I don't like the screeching of the tires.
Oh, sorry, Ash Harper taking a look on the inside of Brian Froh into third place in the AM class in turn 1.
And he's coming back
And
for
he's
it.
coming back, yes. Looks like Ash went a little wide there in turn 1. Let's see what happens as they go up to the bus stop chicane here, as we got right behind them. Is that... And another BMW right behind him, side by side. Oh, no, it's going to end in tears.
No.
Oh, goodness.
No.
Unfortunate for Brian Froh. You see that bumper in the background flipping around. Oh, man.
I don't even know what to think of that. That was just... Both drivers probably should have been more careful there. I think the Porsche may have... I don't even know. It was just really quick. Let's take a look here. Porsche on the inside.
Yeah, it will. Once again, it hit that inside curbing. Tried to go up the inside, and it just did not work well. And take another look.
Yeah, that inside curbing just took the Porsche and nowhere for him to go but into the BMW.
Yep. That's all it is. That's all it takes. For whatever reason, the Porsches cannot take that inside curbing, and unfortunate for Brian Froh that he is the one that's going to be worse for the wear, as Ash was able to stay out of the wall.
I think he did get a little bit of damage on the front left, though.
Oh, I'm sure he did, but he was able to get going again, whereas we saw Brian's front bumper trying to, fly away to freedom there in the background. That BMW is destroyed. Unfortunate for him. Once again, as we see these two staying within touching distance of each other, we're going to have to look to see how these two are taking that bus stop chicane, because they're clearly able to, they're 21 seconds ahead of Lance Shellhorn, who's in third place in the AM class. So they definitely have the pace, clearly close pace as well. And, yeah, clearly they got the bus stop down, whereas other Porsche drivers have really struggled with it. Going through the heel of the boot now. Into turn 9. Nate Hallistick is the CEO of Savage Sim Racing and is a big-time cat lover. So right now he is leading the AM class. Big-time cat lover, CEO of Savage Sim Racing, with Casper Kaluta, new to the league for this race, hot on his heels. Let's see what happens as they just finish going through the S's. We're going to see how they take the bus stop chicane, if they are more conservative and stay off that inside right curbing. Here we go. Yeah. So they know that car is just not happy going over those curbs, and clearly they have the pace. So, don't know if that was from research or what, but that's goodness. Fantastic. Taking a look on the outside here is, we got less than 10 minutes left, so maybe Casper's starting to feel like it's time to strike. He's been keeping less than a half a second gap on Nate this whole time. That was the first time he's really kind of looked to make a move on him. Still staying behind. now back on the start-finish straight. About 8 minutes left in this race. It's a minute and 40-second lap time. I think we're looking at about 4.5 to 5 laps, depending on how far Drake Smith is able to stretch this.
Well, I think Casper is now resorting to psychological tactics, being that they're at the same pace and nothing's giving. They're missing that first curve on purpose, it looks like. And that seems to be the secret sauce that some guys didn't get tonight.
Yeah, it definitely is the way to go in that Porsche. By the way, Nate Holistick, second in the AM Class Championship standings with no Jacob Winslow racing tonight. This is an opportunity for him to close that gap on first place, who's Jacob Winslow in the AM Class for the championship standings. So big result, even if he comes in second place here, but we'll see if he can take first. All right, we got 6.5 minutes remaining. We got Brian T. Benjamin. We haven't been able to take a look at these guys. He is within less than a second to Ash Harper. Real quick, we're going to take a look at, I see that it says Ash Harper crashed. That was after his incident with Brian. So we'll take a look at that real quick. This is a few laps back. Oh, just overcooks it.
And you saw that on your onboard lap. That's one of the corners that'll take the rear end out without you even expecting it. So sad to see.
Jumping back up to these two are leaders in the AM class, first and second place, keeping the gap up. That explains how Brian was able to close in on Ash Harper, as he had that spin and he was able to close that gap in.
We're looking at about 5 minutes left here. Should see some sparks flowing at least between these guys.
Absolutely, as once again, I think Casper's just being patient. He's decided, hey, I can match Nate's pace. I'm just going to wait until the end. Maybe he'll pull a Drake Smith on him and pass him in the last couple corners on the last lap. So biding his time, it seems like.
Psychological tactics. It's time for that. Just wait behind, just build up confidence, and then eventually he'll force a mistake. That's what I'm presuming.
Well, credit to Nate. Looking at both of these cars, neither of them really seem to be getting out of shape coming out of these corners. So if the task from Casper was psychological warfare, it doesn't seem to be affecting Nate too much now. But as that timer ticks closer and closer to the 45 minutes, we are now almost at 4 minutes left in this session. We'll see if that psychological pressure affects Nate at all, as once again the gap now under 0.2 of a second. I think you're right. He's just doing psychological warfare, filling up that rear view mirror, trying to bully him into a mistake. Nate Holistick, once again, still looking very clean through the corners, not going wide at all, not the tail looking very, very planted in that Porsche. I mean, this is the CEO of Savage Sim Racing, so maybe he's used to this type of pressure and it's not going to affect him. We'll see what happens, as I think we're going to have about 2 laps remaining. And I don't know about you, Els, but for me, getting that psychological pressure of someone being on my rear end not absolutely crippling me, as when everyone starts off in iRacing, it tends to be the case. For me, it was just repetition and getting used to it. I don't know if Nate's got some sort of meditation that he's doing. Maybe he's got some Enya playing in the background or something like that to keep himself calm, cool, and collected. But once again, he's looking super planted. Els, you got any mental tricks that you do to keep yourself collected so that the psychological warfare doesn't work on you?
Well, I try to curse a lot, and that seems to help. I don't know if that's the best advice to give to most people, but when people are on your rear end, you want to stay forward. As they're getting closer and closer in the draft, and they're getting side by side now, almost.
Up, here we go. He's taking a look on the That'll be the outside entrance to the bus stop, but he drops back once again. Yeah, absolutely. Just making him think about it, making Nate think about it. Casper is, but not making the move. Maybe he is waiting till the last minute. We'll see what happens with that. But the cursing works for you.
Yeah, the cursing just seems to just let the bad energy flow, and it's like a defensive mechanism. I don't know what I'm saying for real, but definitely you gotta find your own mental tactics against the psychological warfare. As we can see, he's just gaining on them slowly and slowly. That gets in your head. That gets in your head as you're driving as fast as you can.
Yeah, it definitely would get in my head a little bit. As we see, there's a back marker up ahead. I believe that is going to be Shelby Combs in that Porsche head. So we'll see if that comes into play here as we are looking at. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the final lap. Shelby Combs just went off to the left into the wall.
That's not good.
I mean,
looks like he had damage from before, though.
I was going to say there's getting out of the way from the fight, and then there's that. But not an issue for these two, as I am relatively certain that this is the final lap, as Drake Smith is going through the heel of the boot right now. Here we go. Casper taking a look again, going into the bus stop, but not able to make the move. He's running out of time here.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see some flashing lights here. It's got to do something.
I see Emil too had to jump into the pit lane for the black flag. And he only has 4 incident points, as we are now. I mean, Nate Hellistick holding firm with Casper right on his back. He's only got 3 turns left, Els.
I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. He's close, but not. Oh.
You know, now that I look at it, I think there's going to be one more lap. Drake Smith, I do not see the checkered flag next to his name. Yep, there's going to be one more lap, so got to do this all over again. Nate Hellistick holding firm for now, looking calm, cool, and collected. As he goes by, that's got to be the white flag. Yep, white flag is waving from the tire stand. Oh, as we see, Casper locks up going into turn 1, goes way wide. I think that is going to be the end of that.
And what do you know? The psychological warfare tables have turned.
Yeah, unfortunately backfired on Casper. I mean, stayed within a half a second of him for many, many laps. Never had any issues. Final time going through the first corner, he's going to go wide, lock up. And that, unless Nate suddenly makes his own mistake on his own, I think that's going to be game, set, and match. We're going to jump up to Drake Smith really quick as he takes the checker flag. Another win for Drake Smith in the pro class. Zachary Lewis in that Husqvarna Corvette coming around the final corner as well. That's going to be second place for him in the pro class. Jake Van Hees, he's coming around the final corner as well. He's going to take your final podium position in the pro class. Jumping back up to Nate Holisick. We're going to watch as he, Casper, and Lance work their way around for the final time to take their checkered flag. I mean, Casper's brought that back down within 1 second, but I just don't think it's possible with 2 corners left.
Either way, these guys have put on a fantastic drive today. Congratulations to the winners. Flashing lights.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Nate Hollistick, for holding off Casper Clute. Casper, great driving for that whole time until that one incident going into
all it
turn
takes
one.
is one mistake.
Lance Shellhorn, he's going to round out your top 3 in the AM class. So he comes around that corner, the final corner for the last time. 3rd place for Lance Shellhorn. Well, can't say that it wasn't exciting. Relatively clean, especially with the walls being so close to the edge of the track here. So let's go ahead and take a look at our results. In the pro class, Drake Smith's going to take another win. Starting from pole, finishes with a win. Zachary Lewis in 2nd place. Jake Van Hees in 3rd place. Matt Stallcup in 4th place. Blaze Scheid in 5th place. Kyle Shook, 6th place. Andrew Lanning had that contact going through the bus stop. 7th place. And Neil Salata also had problems in the bus stop. He was in 8th place. We're going to jump over to our AM class. Els, if you want to read that off.
And in 1st place, we have Nate Hollistick. Congratulations to him. Casper Cullinan in 2nd place. Lance Shellhorn in 3rd place. Glenn Pino in 4th place. Ash Harper in 5th place. Brian T. Benjamin in 6th place. Emil Toe in 7th place. 8th place, Matt Johnson. 9th place, Shelby Combs. 10th place, Brian Fro. Great race from everybody today.
Yep, that is going to be it for that. We have a number of drivers in waiting for an interview. We're going to go ahead and pull in our race winner for the Pro Crash, Drake Smith. So here comes Drake. Drake, congratulations again, leading from pole. Made it look easy out there. How was that drive for you?
It really wasn't too bad. I didn't expect to explode out the gate like I did. So I played a game of maintaining the delta and did some crazy fuel saving. And I think a couple unfortunate incidents happened behind me, and so I kind of just ran away with it.
Yeah, we were watching obviously on the start. You had a great start. You were able to pull away from everyone. One of the things that we noticed that the Porsches had a really, really hard time going through the right side curbing and the entrance of the bus stop chicane. BMW looks super planted there. Was that not a problem for you at all?
No, not a problem for me, but I did notice that when I was following some Porsches through. I saw, well, unfortunately, not to call him out by name, but I saw somebody ahead of me go through that bus stop and have a difficult time going through there, and he was in a Porsche. So,
yep.
Yeah, no, the BMW, I could just send it through all the curbs. It kind of ate it up, no problem.
Awesome. Well, absolute clinic from you tonight, and congratulations on another win from you. Not quite as exciting as the last corner turn from last week, but still impressive all the same. Congratulations, Drake. Any shout outs that you have?
Thank you. I think I have to do the stereotype shout out to my mom. I think she's watched a couple of these through my brother, who I mentioned last week. I think he showed her, and so I think she started watching. Not quite sure, but shout out to my mom.
All right. Well, congratulations once again, Drake Smith. Congratulations on your win. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Els, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our AM class winner, Nate Hollistick. Here he is. You can go ahead and take the interview on that one.
They must have amnesia. They forgot that I'm him.
Oh, wow. Hello, Nate Hollistick. How are we doing tonight? Congratulations on your, I believe it's your 2nd place win, excuse me.
I think Was it second place? I'm not sure.
No, it was first place, but is that your second win?
Oh, my second win. I believe so. Honestly, have not been keeping track, to be 100% honest with you.
I tell you what, man, I made a mistake myself. We're all not keeping track, but we're gonna get it right. How was the tire wear for this race for you today?
Actually, let me go. I actually didn't get a chance to go look at that. Actually, it felt pretty sketchy there at the end. Um, yeah, right side tires were taking a beating for sure. But overall, not too bad. I think it was just adjusting to the track temp going up a little bit over the race that was more difficult. Dealing with both those things in combination was made it a struggle there in the back half.
Okay, and was the fuel strategy something that you had to put into play here? Were you fuel saving? Were you just having to do that to make one stop, or what was the actual fuel strategy that you had to come up with?
No strategy really. I pretty much figured from the get go it was going to be a one stop, and I could pretty much just full send it at my pace, and I'd have enough to make it to the end. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward this week, thankfully.
All right, and did you have any shout outs that you want to give?
Yeah, obviously shout out all my boys over at Savage Sim Racing. Also my boy Fizz Cow, who came in P2. We had a nice little back and forth for the back half of the race there. That was good time, good fun. So shout out to him, shout out to everybody else, and shout out to Dead Boy, rest in peace, love you forever, bro.
Rest in peace. Well, congratulations once again. You have a great night, Nate. How's that?
You too, man.
All right, that was Nate Hallistick. We're going to bring in our second place finisher in the pro class, Zachary Lewis. Zach, congratulations on your second place finish. Heck of a drive. I know it was tough to keep in touch with Drake up there, but you managed to take second place. How was the drive for you tonight?
It was pretty chill. Just, hot lap of doom. Couldn't catch Drake. No one else caught me, so I was just floating.
Awesome. Any sort of problems with the tire degradation out there?
Not
From the
really.
Corvette?
Not really. I just trying to keep it on track the whole time.
Well, you did pretty well. We noticed that the Porsches seem to have a hard time going through that bus stop if you took too much of that entry curbing. Corvette looked pretty planted. Was that the case?
Yeah, it felt pretty good. I just kind of launched it and just held on and hope it stuck.
Well, it clearly stuck for you, coming in second place in the pro class. Not a small feat. Any shout outs that you like to have, that you like to shout out to?
Not at this time.
All right. Well, Zach, Zachary, thank you for joining us tonight. Congratulations on your P2, and we'll see you next week at Sebring.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Zachary Lewis, your P2 in the pro class. We're going to bring in Casper Kaluta in the AM class, and Els, you can take it away.
Casper Kaluta, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
We saw that you got, I believe it was third place?
Second.
Second.
Second place, excuse me. Second place. How was your drive tonight? Did you have any certain corners that were especially difficult?
I was having trouble with turn one.
Turn one. And was the tire degradation something that you had to deal with throughout the entire race, or just mostly at the end?
I didn't really feel it, to be honest.
Oh wow, okay. Definitely. And the fuel strategy. Did you have any fuel strategy that made you advantageous towards your opponents?
No, I was just pushing. It was my first race in here, and I just wanted to have fun.
Glad to see that you had fun, and glad to see you out tonight. Did you have any shout outs that you wanted to give?
Just Savage Sim Racing.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful night, Casper Cullen. How do I say it?
Caludan.
Culloden. Okay. Casper
It's Danish,
Culloden.
so
Okay. Well, you have a wonderful night.
you too.
Yep, that was P2 in the AM class. Casper Culloden, as we now know, first time racing in the league tonight, takes P2. He was the one who locked up in the final lap in that turn 1. So, yep, definitely having trouble with turn 1, as he said, as we saw that. We got one last person waiting for an interview, Jake Van Hees from DTM. So let's bring him on in. Jake, how was the race tonight? Moving up to the pro class from the AM class last week. How was the track for you?
It was good. It was good. I was seeing a lot of struggles in the bus stop early on. I did make a car change to the BMW on this one, so that felt really good. After a couple laps, I was pretty solo the whole race, so I was just trying to save some tires and push a little bit when I could. I knew I was going to get just one stop for it, so felt smooth, felt confident. No way I was catching the guys in front, but I felt confident in P3 after about halfway through the race, so I wanted to keep it clean.
Yeah, second podium in a row. Obviously, taking the win in the AM class last week at the Nürburgring. Any specific areas of the track that were extra challenging, or were you just cruising out there?
Yeah, if there was one, it was the final turn. Once the tires started going a little bit, I was just really trying to avoid bouncing off that wall and catching wheel damage. So if I played it safe in any spot, I was trying to in that area.
All right. Well, congratulations on your third place, Jake. Way to represent DTM in Kansas City Race League. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Any shout outs that you have?
Shout out you two. Great host here, great broadcast, and DTM as always.
Thanks, Jake. We appreciate that. We will see you next week at Sebring International Raceway.
Absolutely, fellas. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, Jake.
All right. Well, that's all of our interviews for this evening. I thought there was going to be more fireworks for this race with off tracks and stuff like that. Obviously, the Porsche is having trouble in that entrance into the bus stop, but incidents were low. We had a couple bits of contact, but at least one of them was definitely just a Porsche going over that curb and not being able to hold his line. So, Els, were you surprised at how clean overall it was?
I was actually expecting it to be clean. Remember what I said in the beginning, TJ. These guys here at KCRL, they know how to drive, and that's the reason why I am out here with you broadcasting and not in the race with them, because I can't even keep up. And these guys here are pretty much pros when it comes to this GTE stuff, because I can't even begin to get into like the 42s, and we're seeing them all within the 42s on race pace. So 42s and 41s, I just can't see it. Can't see it.
That is a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. We are getting much later in the season, so the guys that have been putting in the practice with the GTE cars, they're becoming more and more comfortable with them as well. So makes sense that it was clean. I just thought there was going to be more carnage going through the bus stop. There was plenty, but I thought there was going to be more. But yeah, everyone keeping it absolutely clean. Multiple single off-track incidents, just off tracks, not actual wrecks or anything like that from most of the drivers. Couple contacts going into the bus stop, but overall pretty clean race from our guys over at the Kansas City Race League. So that's going to conclude our coverage of round 6 of the Kansas City Race League presented by DLB Precision. A huge thanks to all the drivers who participated and to Dakota and his crew for putting on this league. I'm TJ Yankee.
And I'm Lesean Young-Dilworth.
And that will conclude our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Stay tuned for the next broadcast on Odyssey Motorsports TV as we take on Sebring next Tuesday. Good night.